doctor in hopes that if you lose your license, you can still practice medicine. That's what Harry and Meghan have done. They've taken their kids' last names and changed them to Sussex, in my opinion, because they're afraid they're going to lose these titles. And so they think by giving them this name, they can hold on to them. They receive the titles Duke and Duchess of Sussex, one of the only times you'll hear me say that. They were given that by the late Queen Elizabeth on their wedding day. So if these stories are right, and I say if, because they tell lies constantly. Again, look at my background photos if you don't believe me. If these stories are right, then they've changed the kid's last name to Sussex. Why is that important? I'll tell you. Again, I go back to the doctor analogy. You don't take on the name doctor. You don't take on the name Sussex. Oh, unless, here's my theory, they're so afraid they're about to get stripped of their titles that they're taking these kids and they're changing their names. And they're changing their names to Sussex so that way, I don't know, they can cling on to the word Sussex. This is so freaking weird. It's several reasons to cling on to these titles, to F with the royal family and give the middle finger to Her Majesty the late Queen. And I am sickened by this. Absolutely sickened. Why am I having this reaction? I'll tell you. Because they're awful, awful, awful people. And instead of, I don't know, making an honest living or doing anything above board, they're now... I know, I always get comments, what kids? But if you believe they exist, they're involving the kids and they're changing their names to cling on to these titles. This is where I don't know, and you guys can definitely chime in the comments. I hear all these things like, why doesn't the king strip them? And then I have other people saying, no, it's got to be parliament and all this. I don't understand fully how it works, but something has to be done. This is nuts at this point to give them the last name Sussex. So does that mean they've changed their own last name to Sussex too? What? Tell me his name is Harry Sussex. Harry Sussex, Duke of Sussex. Because that's kind of funny. No, what I really think is I don't know if they're afraid that the titles will be stripped or this is a preemptive move to stop the titles from being stripped, that they have allegedly given the kids the names Sussex to forever tie them to that. In my opinion, it's in case it is stripped, they can still hang on to the word Sussex. They might as well sorry, I'm going on a tangent here. They might as well name the kids legally Princess Sussex. You know what I mean? And Prince Sussex. In case titles are stripped or whatever, then their names would legally... I made this joke on another video about how Meghan, I'm surprised she hasn't just gone and changed her name legally to Princess. That's basically what they're doing now with the Sussex of it all. This is just so freaking unbelievable. Everything they do is a scam. Everything they do is a lie. And here we are again. Here's the crazy part. Let's take a step back and think about this. Right now, what's going on? They are up shit's creek about this website. People are freaking out, rightly so, about how awful, rude, disrespectful, mean, I don't know how else to say it, they are being to His Majesty the King, who is dealing with, we know about the health stuff and the royal family in general, a lot of stuff going on. Okay. So you already got that. This is a slap in the face to Her Majesty the late Queen for that. I talked about this before, about this Sussex royal, right? She said no to that, and they've been pouting little bitches ever since. And here we are. Here we are with the Sussex of it all. The stupid website. It went down like a lead balloon. Like that's, not a shocker. They can't get anything right. And then again, look for this might not be my next video, my soon to come video, because I go into how Meghan put out a statement defending the website. But in my opinion, and you'll see it, I talk about it in that video, I think it was, hey, I didn't make the website. These guys did. Blame them, huh? Because nothing's ever their fault. I just go back to, this is just crazy. So they're changing the kids' names. According to this, they're changing the kids' names to Sussex. And I mean, why? They always have ulterior motives, and it's to cling on to the royal titles. They made a big stink about walking away. They called the royal family horrible names. We know the ist words that they love to throw around. Baseless accusations of awful things. And as a result, I mean, luckily, the Sugars are very small and very small-minded. So, there's that. But these small hate groups have popped up. as a result. And I think about like William and Catherine receiving all this hate because of these awful people. And by awful people, I mean the Sugars and Harry and Meghan. So they continually bash the royal family. They continually target, especially Catherine, Princess of Wales, over and over again. We keep seeing it because Meghan is inferior in every way, and she knows it. That must suck, huh? But no, so she acts like this and does these things. And listen, I always say it. Harry is not innocent. Harry's just as bad, and sometimes he's worse than her, and he's just as much a part of this. They changed the names. Good Lord. I'm rarely speechless, but here we are. I'm speechless. This is so idiotic. Thank goodness for you guys. Thank goodness for our group. Thank goodness for, I don't know, the people, the other YouTubers out there as well, like doing this and talking about this, because the people that don't keep up with this stuff, the people that don't know, the ones either blindly following or just blissfully unaware, they won't see how crazy this whole situation is. So that's why I just think it's important to continue to talk about this stuff. Like changing the kids' names to hold on to titles. I'm trying to think of I can't even think of a similar situation. It's like if I was once in a movie. I'm not even comparing it to her shitty acting career. I'm just saying if I personally was once in a movie, I was an extra in a movie once. What if I changed my last name to whatever that movie title was? Let's pretend like, I don't know, I was in, pick a movie, Gone with the Wind in the background. Am I going to change my name to Gone with the Wind? That's basically what they're doing. They held their positions for a couple of months, did a really bad job at it, couldn't handle it or keep up, so they left. They threw a stink on the way out, and they're still clinging on to those titles. You just can't make this stuff up. So here I am, Gone with the Wind. That's literally the only movie I could think of. When I go into a blind rage, it's like I get tunnel vision or something. I just get stuck on things. I'm stuck on this. Ugh, they're awful people. Awful people. But the good news is more and more people can see how awful they were. There was, like a week ago, I was really frustrated because when Dum Dum flew back, I saw so many publications talking about, oh, maybe that Harry will reconcile with his family. Oh, man, maybe they'll make up. No, they will not. And this is all the proof you need, this website and now this move. Because they're awful people. They can't be trusted. They kick others when they're down. If nothing else, I'm enjoying the downfall. I had no idea it'd be this spectacular, though. Let's be real. Like, I knew that they'd do some stuff to, screw it all up. I thought they'd just be called out on a bunch of lies and stuff. But, who could have foretold this? I thought 2024 was going to be boring. I thought maybe they'd shut up for a little bit at the beginning of the year. No. The only thing they're shutting up about is exactly what's on your screen right here, the African parks. Still no talking out about that. Won't let go of those titles of the family they couldn't stop and still can't stop bashing. But nothing about the African parks. They really are awful, awful people. The worst. I have no proof and no idea, but I'm just speculating. I thought we saw all those stories about how WME sat them down and said, hey, you idiots, stop trading on the royal family. Stop bashing them. And that they were going to, stop doing that. Who I feel for right now, besides, my lovely Catherine, speedy recovery. I feel for the people of Sussex. I really do. I have lovely people in my comment section that are from Sussex, and I feel for you because these assholes are trying to take on your name. Can you imagine this representing? Oh my God. All right, let's talk about the pictures because we got some pictures, you guys. It is the Meghan show once again. Take a look. I always point it out. Look where everybody else is looking and then look at Meghan. Look at me. Look at me looking at the camera. Look at me. So much nonsense going on. Oh, you guys, she needed attention so much. She is hamming up for the camera, but just so you know, she put back on the engagement ring. Whoop-de-doo. Could you imagine you're so awful and so vapid and boring that you have to bring out your engagement ring to try to get some attention? Here she is casually bad acting, posing with it. Oh, she probably didn't approve this shot, but look at me. Look at my engagement ring. Posing with it. Look, talk about anything else except for, the awful website and the fact that we're not speaking up about the atrocities that went on in the African